What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Inside Jays. Um, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Jeff Hoffman and just how much of a stud and a steal he has been for the Toronto Blue Jays this season. We're going to go over an article from our friends at Blue Jays Nation. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. I will leave a link to the article in the description down below so you guys can take a read for it for yourselves. But the article is titled Jeff Hoffman Continues to Prove He is Worth Every Penny for the Blue Jays. His article is written by Tyson Shushkowicz. Hopefully I did not mispronounce your name. If I did, apologies. But let's go ahead and just dive right into the article. The Toronto Blue Jays made headlines this past winter when they non-tendered Canadian Jordan Romano, sending the closer to free agency for the first time in his career. The Jays eventually pivoted to former Phillies closer Jeff Hoffman, which is where Romano ended up signing, and the initial deal was met with criticism from across the league. After inking a 3-year pact with the Jays worth $33 million, reports started trickling out that excuse me, a handful of teams were concerned with Hoffman's medicals and were looking to restructure their initial deals or pull out of their offers with the right-hander. The Braves reportedly never specified their reasons for concerns, while the Baltimore Orioles were concerned with his shoulder before walking away. Looking back, the early outcome is favoring the Jays, and it's not even close. The New York native has been dominant out of the gate for manager John Schneider, and the Blue Jays with the hard-throwing reliever converting 6 saves on 6 opportunities, allowing just 2 earned runs through 15 and a third innings. Here's a quote from manager John Schneider. "It's a luxury to have a guy like him," said manager John Schneider, speaking after last night's comeback win. This article was from May 1st, so it's a few days late. On a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of trust, it's probably 300. The 6'5" product leads the American League with 12 games finished and boasts a 1.17 ERA and a 1.25 FIP through the first month of the season. He owns a 0.587 WHIP and with a 4.7 hits by 9, and has struck batters out at a 12.9 K9 rate, racking up 22 punch-outs. Hoffman is a StatCast darling, ranking in the 80th percentile in almost every pitching category and sits in the 95th percentile in pitching run value, with his four-seam fastball and slider ranking at a +3. The fastball offering has produced a .126 WOBA with a 41.2 K%, while his slider has been equally as filthy, with 0 batters being able to put the ball in play, with a 60.0% whiff rate on 55 pitches, working to a .008 slugging and a 0.045 xWOBA. Last night he collected, a couple of nights ago, he collected his 500th career strikeout during his 2 innings of work against the Red Sox, the third time the right-hander has gone 2 innings this season for the Jays. Opposing bats own a .154, .167, .269 slash line against the Blue Jays closer, with a .233 BABIP. Sorry, I don't know what that actually is. I'm still learning the analytics for baseball. I'm more familiar with the analytics for hockey compared to baseball, so bear with me on that. Authoring a low 86.3 miles per hour average exit velo, Hoffman is seeing an uptick in his ground ball rates, over a 10% decrease in his fly ball rate compared to his career numbers, while generating weak contact night after night. On top of the dominant outings, Hoffman has been pitching with a chip on his shoulder. This came to a head against the Orioles, where after locking down a save at Camden Yards a couple weeks back, he blew a kiss to the O's dugout, a signal to the Orioles front office that they made the wrong decision after the Rays' medical concerns. Looking ahead, the Blue Jays are finding a lot of benefits from their closer spot. While the results aren't transferable, nor does one outcome mean it would have happened elsewhere. Jordan Romano has struggled to a 12.19 ERA with 14 earned runs, allowing through 10 and 1/3 innings for the Phillies while converting just 2 of his 4 save opportunities. Having those numbers in the Jays bullpen would have been a tough pill to swallow if Romano had stayed and replicated those values, especially because the offense has struggled to find success outside of a few games this season. The early returns from Hoffman have been a pleasant outcome for the club and fan base, and it seems like the Blue Jays made the right decision this past winter for their bullpen. So there's that article. Talking a little bit about it. I'll admit I was one of the few who wasn't too pleased when the Blue Jays ended up not re-signing Jordan Romano. Like I questioned it. I was like, "What are you guys doing? This is Romano we're talking about. He's loved. He's a fan favorite. He's loved by the fans, and he's coming off a injury-riddled season. But and then so as I mentioned, I questioned it at the beginning, and then when they brought in Hoffman, I was like, okay, let's see how this guy is. And as I mentioned in the title of this video, he's been an absolute stud and a steal for the Toronto Blue Jays. So, and then seeing how Romano's season has gone with the Phillies, clearly the Blue Jays made a right move. And bringing in Hoffman, and this bullpen has been absolutely lights out for the Blue Jays. You've got Jeff Hoffman, you've got Jimmy Garcia, you've got Fluharty in that bullpen, and you also could be bringing in Spencer Turnbull and Jose Urena. More on those two in another video, as I'm going to be covering 2 new signings for the Toronto Blue Jays. But yeah, so I'm fully on the Jeff Hoffman bandwagon. He's been lights out. He's been great. But I actually picked him up in a couple of my fantasy leagues as due to him, being so good as of late. But no, it is. I will admit it's hard seeing Jordan Romano, seeing the way his career's kind of come crashing down. Considering he had so much promise, he had those couple good seasons with the Blue Jays, and it's just unfortunate that his career has taken a turn, and he's not doing well. And I wish nothing but the best for Jordan Romano, and I thought he was great during his time here, but obviously the Blue Jays had to move on as the injury concerns when it comes to Romano. Obviously, those same concerns still apply to Jeff Hoffman, but so far so good. Knock on wood. Hoffman has been absolutely great and has been, as I mentioned, an absolute stud and a steal for the Blue Jays this season. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of the Blue Jays signing Jeff Hoffman to that 3-year deal, and just how he's been to this Blue Jays bullpen so far this season. Once again, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Also, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the Line Change and would like to stay up to date on all your Toronto Blue Jays news and content, be sure to not only like, but also smash that subscribe button, and then also hit that little bell so you're notified every single time we upload a new video. You can find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at Inside Jays Pod. And that's going to do it for this episode of Inside Jays Podcast. As always, let's go Blue Jays, and I'll see you guys in the next video.